So I wanted to speak to an awareness of growth that I had yesterday in this process of body awareness and recognizing my patterns of dysregulation and trying to get more control over my humaning. So I was in an awesome mood yesterday, and then while out on a walk, I got some information that kind of made me unsettled. And I was aware, as I returned from the walk, I was aware, like, I don't feel good right now. I can tell, I feel in my body more so than even the thoughts, like I can feel it. I just don't feel as good as I did an hour ago. And that in and of itself was significant. There were thoughts involved with it, but to recognize that there's the thoughts and there is this physical sensation. And so I'm like, oh, so I couldn't quite kick that. Now I wish I was disciplined and aware enough to go like do breath work or something. I did go take a shower, and then I was like, okay, I'm just gonna lie in bed and scroll a little bit and just kind of self-soothe in that way, pretty consciously aware that I was doing it. Now, as I was scrolling, I was given some more information of something different that was upsetting and significantly upsetting. And I reacted in an exaggerated way. I was very upset. I felt my body like fluttering and hot and warm. And that was the significant thing. I'm like, I am aware, like my mind is spinning in thoughts and frustrations, and I started kind of spiraling and exaggerating the consequences. Like I started getting frustrated with humanity, and it gets to just, it's not even worth it to try, and who cares, and what's the point of anything? And like, I even said like, well, I guess, on the Hugmobile it says the world would rather hug you than hurt you. I guess that's not true. The world would rather hurt you than hug you. And I'm kind of spinning in this negative story. But I was aware of this physical sensation that I'm like, oh, I am dysregulated right now. And so I rather than continue the conversation, I said, why don't we watch some TV and go to bed? Like, I think if I wake up tomorrow, this feeling I'm having will go away. Like, I was conscious enough to know that the world didn't suck as much as it felt like it sucked, that I was in a state that was making it worse. So at least I was in that place. So then I put on the David Beckham documentary on Netflix, which is a series. It's so, oh my God, how it makes me, I don't know anything about football or soccer. I don't know anything about David Beckham, but I am a fan now. Swoon. Oh, anyway, and it's such a beautiful love story, but I digress. So I'm watching that, and I'm kind of, like relaxing. And then I have two things, like really, one, I remembered, I'm like, wait a minute, I was dysregulated before I got the second bit of information. So I actually was already off kilter. So that second information I got, I responded from a place of like, I had no grounding. So I'm like, oh, I'm not really as upset. It's not really as bad as it feels, because I started from a place where things weren't right. So I'm like, oh my gosh. And then the other thing that was really helpful is I had given my beloved some advice yesterday morning when there was some other issues of struggle. I go, hey, you know what? It's the only thing that matters is you and me. And she said that back to me when I was like frustrated with the world and nothing mattered. And she goes, hey, the only thing that matters is you and me. And my body just went like, whew. Okay. because I know that that is good and that is okay and everything is perfect there. It's all good. It's all good. So within an 30 minutes of being in that super state and feeling like the world sucks, everything sucks, like what's the point? I'm gonna quit all the projects that I'm doing because nothing matters. I was back and I was like, okay, I'm like, I was off. And that's over. And I was pretty stoked. I was pretty proud of myself. Like there was several points of that was something that were beyond my abilities a year ago in terms of feeling the way that my body is responding, the self-awareness that I am not in my right mind right now. I cannot trust my thoughts because I'm not grounded in this moment. I'm dysregulated. So even though I didn't have like the ability to just go like and I'm dysregulated and let it go or something like that, I still felt like that was, start to finish was an hour. So I'm feeling really encouraged and really feeling the power and the how helpful it is to make a body connection. Like I was even thinking like if I was in therapy, like couples therapy, for example, like it's easy to get like when you're like arguing, if the therapist was like, hey, time out. What are you feeling in your body right now? Like, I think that would be super helpful because it's the taking a pause to even like remember to be aware. Like, oh, wait, no, I am hot. I feel hot. And, the thoughts feel true. But if you can go, okay, the thoughts feel true, but I am. So maybe I need to wait until I don't feel before I can really believe those thoughts. So that was my adventure in dysregulation yesterday. Super grateful for my incredible partner, for patience and understanding and support, and allowing that to be a process for me to go through and helping me get through it. So grateful for this journey of growth and all the support and teachers as I've been continuing on it. Soba is saying, feelings aren't facts, and I always wait before I act. So the feeling that totally true. The challenge that I am growing with is that it's not always perceptible when you're inside it. Kind of like if you are depressed, you don't feel depressed. You don't go, oh, I'm depressed. You go, the world fucking sucks and I suck at everything and I always fuck up and no one ever and always this and never this. It's that's not a feeling when you're in it. It's reality. So the more that you can go, or the whatever techniques and tactics you can go, wait. There's a feeling. I'm having body sensations that I associate when I am dysregulated. Therefore, the thoughts I'm having cannot be trusted. One of the biggest aspects of personal growth is learning how to break your confidence in your own brain. Learning to distrust your own thoughts. Learning how to go, that feels true in this moment, but the brain by design is not a pure fact machine. It is not a trustable witness. It is, it draws connections and it blinds you and it misunderstands things. If you're unfamiliar with cognitive bias, definitely research that as well. The way that our brain will believe a fact or a truth that is not true. But because we have the ways that our brain works, Like recency bias, if something that you've learned more recently than something you learned a long time ago feel is more true. Or if you've made a decision, like once you buy a Mac computer, you think Macs are better. And when you see evidence that it's not true, your body, you disagree with it. Or confirmation bias, you only notice evidence for things that you already believe to be true. So arguing with somebody and saying, you gotta, do the research, like that means nothing, because if you are not aware of your cognitive bias and your confirmation bias and you do research, you just read the stuff that confirms what you already believe. And the same is true if you are depressed and you don't know it, or you are riled up and dysregulated and don't know it. I will find proof that I'm justified in my anger, in my frustration, in my bitterness. So, which is one reason why I try to, if I notice that I'm dysregulated, I go, stop. Don't charge into this process of, don't think through this. Don't try to make any conclusions. That's why I'm okay with, I'm going to watch some TV. I need to stop this train. I need to slow down because it's off the tracks. It thinks it's investigating and finding the truth, but it is off the tracks. It meaning my brain. Of course, I wouldn't believe a word this guy says. Do your research.